All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose platform, where we're here Thursday. I just realized it's Monday. Favorite day of the week. Monday, where we're here to liberate you from the chaos of working in your business. I wanted to go over a question that we get all the time, and that is about partnerships, joint ventures, solo ownership. That owner stuff in the element or in the realm of small business is such a key question, and quite frankly, it's a situation that a lot of people are having to deal with who have either are thinking about getting into that, or they're in it and they're either loving it, that's the minority, or they're kind of despising it, hating it, that's the majority, unfortunately, of what we've seen. And so when we look at this reality of partnerships, joint ventures, there's a great quote that Dave Ramsey says. He says, "The only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. The only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership." That's not always true, clearly, but I will tell you this, more times than not, it seems to be the reality in our experience. Now, are we just attracting small businesses who struggle with partnerships, or is this, we don't know. We don't have any scientific data around that, but what we will say is this, more often than not, what we've seen is a situation where business partners are really struggling. But I think there's a couple of reasons for that. It's not because partnerships don't work. So I'm not willing to make that statement. Here's what I am willing to say, is partnerships that are not well thought out and are rushed into in haste or necessity or whatever and are not clearly spelled out, those are the ones that we're really seeing massive challenges with. And so the reality is if you're going to get into a partnership, the upfront operating agreements, the written out step by step, this is what you do, this is what I do. It's the same stuff you do when you're bringing somebody onto the team as an employer or contractor. Say, hey, here are the expectations for what we're going to do, and then you're meeting around those expectations on a regular basis. But there's something that I want to show you that I think is potentially a better option for a lot of people, and that's this idea of a joint venture. And so when you go in on a joint venture, there's a couple things that happen. Joint ventures usually don't work necessarily on contracts, but a lot of times will work on statement of intents. Now, obviously talk to your attorney, let them help you figure that out and what that particularly or specifically should look like for you. But with a statement of intents, and we've gone into a couple of joint ventures, essentially what happens is the umbrella LLC that you sit under, for us it's the On Purpose Group LLC, would then partner with another LLC, and then you kind of do a joint product together, but under those two different LLCs. So at any one given time, and within the statement of intent, it actually lays out, here are the percentage breakdowns. For instance, a real simple one might be, if you've got two LLCs that are going into a joint venture on a particular product, a simple statement of intent, among other things, you got to think through copyright issues and the actual content. But the compensation might go something like this. LLC A gets 45%, LLC B gets 45%, and then there's 10% left over for the administration of the product or the deliverable or the service, whatever that might look like. And so the reality is a joint venture offers an opportunity to where there's great partnership and collaboration, but it's not a long-term marriage from a business standpoint. Because here's the reality, is if you go into a partnership, and let's just say it's a straight 50-50 partnership, that's with you the entire time. And there's going to have to be buyouts, and there's going to have to be tough conversations. There's still tough conversations with joint ventures, but there's also a little bit less of the intensity that a partnership breeds in and of itself. And so remember, it's Dave Ramsey who said the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. It's one of the reasons we really, really like the idea of joint ventures. And so especially those of you who are in the service industry, a lot of times this is what we see in the service industry, is that one particular LLC might be really great at content development, while the other LLC is really great at marketing. And usually to find one that's great at both is really, really a challenge. And so you can get that to where, let's say we were really good at content, and another group has an audience of a specific platform we're looking to get into. Then you develop that joint venture. Make sure your statement of intent and your operating agreement is in place. And then you meet, just like you would in your business, you meet on a regular basis, week after week, month after, whatever that looks like, in order to do the joint venture. Obviously, the best way to go is solo ownership, and then surround yourself with people who are really, really spectacular at different niches of what you're not good at. That's why we do the delegation roadmap and some of those other things. So here's the reality, though. It's got to be written out in your vision. This is really what I want to encourage you with. Is if you go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision right there, we've got our entire vision tutorial and template that you can go use right now. So if you're a small business owner and you don't have a detailed snapshot of the future of your business, we've even had people morph this into a vision for their family, then just go right there right now, mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. And the other thing I want to remind you of is we've got questions like this that we are answering constantly on the Business on Purpose podcast and the new format that we've put out there. And that's the Business on Purpose podcast. If you go down there and listen to the last 20, 30, 40 episodes, they're little 4 to 8 minute bites. They're answering lots of different questions like this, and I think they'll be of real value to you. So make sure to go check that out. But joint ventures, partnerships, solo ownerships, think cautiously before you go into any of them, and follow the wisdom of Proverbs 19:2. It's not good to have zeal without knowledge, or to be hasty and miss the way. Especially when you're thinking about a partnership or joint venture, don't be hasty. What if you're in a bad partnership right now? You need to get wisdom and outside counsel on how to move forward, because it's going to be a crucial decision. Don't just dissolve and move. You've got to have a thoughtful, intentional, and sometimes tough conversation about that. So, guys, I hope that helps. Again, check us out on the Business on Purpose podcast, and go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision, where we can help you articulate that detailed snapshot of the future of your business or the future of your family in its entirety. You provide the sweat, and we'll provide the tool. Have a great Monday.